everybody, what's going on? Corey and Steven here from Forks Over Knives, and we're so excited to bring you a special burger breakdown. Today we've got a lot of burgers, and you might be seeing this video over on the Forks Over Knives website with an article that was written by Cynthia Sass back in early 2025. So we wanted to give you some stuff to look at and some stuff to hear just from two plant-based guys. And Steven, of course, runs the customer success department over in Forks Over Knives. How you doing today, Steven?
I'm doing good, Corey. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm hanging in there. You know, it's at the time of the recording, it's this summer month, so people are getting out in the grill area. So this is a good time to kind of talk about burgers, you know?
It's a great time to talk about burgers. I think it's besides the fact that it's one of the most popular meals, people love burgers. It is that time for grilling, for parties. There's a lot of holidays that are around here, and we want to be able to enjoy burgers. And of course, on forksovernifes.com, we have lots of delicious whole food, plant-based burger recipes. If you love getting into the kitchen and making your own burger, you are all set, any kind, 5 ingredient, this burger, that burger, whatever you want. But Corey, I think a big thing, especially time, effort, attention, sometimes convenience wins out. And that's why I'm really excited to talk about the vegan and plant-based burgers that people can find and make for all of those grilling opportunities.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, here at Forks, we always want you to use real food ingredients, and we want you to make your stuff yourself. We want to see what's going in the actual burger. But the good news is a lot of these brands that we are going to mention to you today, they've done a pretty good job. But we're going to give you some stuff to be aware of. We're going to look at the back of the nutrition labels and really just kind of point out a couple things that stick out to Steven and I. So as you make your decision that's best for you and your personal goals, you can feel really good about coming from a place of knowledge rather than just feeling like it's the only option you have.
And that's the biggest thing. We want to start you off on the right foot. And when it comes down to it, when you are purchasing something at the store, you get the opportunity to take a look at what is on that nutrition facts label and make the final decision, whatever is best for you.
Yep. Well, as we look at the article, folks, there's a bunch of burgers listed. In fact, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of burgers. And I think, Steven, I don't know about you, but I feel like starting with one that is a transition from your traditional standard American diet, trying to do a little bit better might be a good place to start. Now, folks, stay with us here because you might hear a name and just be like, what? I can't believe Forks Over Knives is recommending this. We want to be very clear in that this first recommendation is going to be what we call the old transition burger, right? Am I right, Steven?
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Again, when we talk about the journey that everyone takes, we can go whichever way we want. When you are ready to go straight to that delicious 5 ingredient veggie burger that you're cooking up at home, go for it. But if you are looking to avoid eating animal foods and you are saying, what is a vegan plant-based burger option that I can buy so I can still enjoy this type of meal that I like, that burger may likely be the Beyond Burger. The Beyond Burger you're going to find in a lot of stores. It is a very large company. It is much more accessible than a lot of these other burgers, so it does make it convenient. It also might be that burger when you have family members who are also not quite there yet, but you want to show them you can eat a plant-based burger and still have a meaty experience. That Beyond Burger is there. Now, Corey, this one does include oil. It's avocado oil. The ingredients are not going to be those that we are really looking for. We're talking yellow pea protein, brown rice protein, red lentil protein. It's high in protein because of all of that, but it's also very high in fat and saturated fat and very low in fiber. And that's why everything you were saying about it being a transition burger means it is step one towards many other burgers ahead, right?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the meatiest options, the most similar to your standard American burger. But ultimately, we really want to stick to the whole foods. And so as we progress with these 7 different types of burgers, we're going to slowly get away from the Beyond Burger types and get to the ones that are more similar to a whole food plant-based version. And there are 2, if you stick with us, that we absolutely love. In fact, there are 2 here that Steven and I would probably consume on a regular basis. Although I will tell you that if you go to forksoverknives.com and just search black bean burger, you're going to find two. There's one that's more labor intensive for the person that loves being in the kitchen, and one, as Steven said earlier, just 5 ingredients. You slap them in the blender, you make a patty, and you grill them just like anything else, and they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, what's our second burger, Steven, as we kind of get into it, that you would go that next step up?
Yeah. So as far as that next one, there's another brand that's out there that's actually pretty well known. It's Dr. Prager. You may have seen a burger that has that Dr. Prager label on it. And I do believe, Corey, there are at least a couple of options that Dr. Prager
Yep.
has.
Yeah, this in the article we talk about the perfect burger. It has
Yeah.
20 grams of protein, but what I typically, if I'm having a cheat day or just kind of hanging, on a Friday night or something, and everybody's eating burgers, I will go with the black bean burger that
Mm.
Dr. Prager's has. Now, keep in mind, it still does have oil in it, so if that's something that's important to you, as it is for Forks Over Knives, to avoid, then we would highly recommend avoiding the Dr. Prager's burger. There's other options we get down the list that do not include any added oils, so stay tuned for that. But
Yeah.
how
So
you
many
feeling about Dr.
considerations, right?
Yeah, yeah, and as you look at the nutrition label, like how are you feeling about Dr. Prager's?
This is one of the gluten-free options, and I know that's a consideration for a lot of people, right? If we're taking a look at the ingredients inside, oil is one to consider. And for some people who have celiac disease or are gluten sensitive, you're looking for a
Mm,
gluten-free burger. This one's also non-GMO,
hmm.
so we are okay over there. 20 grams of protein, 30% of the daily value for iron. Based on the ingredients that are in there. But we do have a very high sodium level here, Corey. And just to
Yeah.
kind of put it in perspective, this is 410 milligrams of sodium per burger. So to put that a little bit in the high range, we'll talk about some others that are going to be a bit lower. But a shout out to anyone who's buying any burger out there. In many cases, those sodium levels will be on the higher side. So take that into consideration. That compared to making your own and controlling what you put in there, it will be different.
Yeah.
Dr. Prager's, Safeway, Giant, ShopRite, I think you can find it all around.
Yeah, they are pretty commercially available out there. So definitely keep that in mind, my friends. Beautiful. All right, moving on. Let's
Yeah.
see. I don't know which one I would go to next, my friend. I think I'd probably move to maybe Abbott's.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. That's where I was going myself. It's another one that includes oil, right? So we're
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
staying in this realm with those that do feature oil. This one is avocado oil. When that first ingredient is like a protein of a pea protein rather than specifically a whole food, again, those are the ingredients that we're generally staying away from. But
Yeah.
we also have veggies in there. We have oats in there. We have seeds. We have herbs. We have spices in there. And Corey, I think a lot of people associate burger with meatiness and they associate meatiness with protein. This is the highest protein burger out there. It's
Mm.
22 grams of protein and it's soy free and gluten free.
Interesting. Yeah, the soy-free thing, a lot of people worry that soy has a negative impact on the body. You hear about IGF and stuff like that. And I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist, but just saying that, I think unless you have a soy allergy, I don't know if you need to be super scared of soy. Soy
Not
is,
at all.
it's just,
Yeah,
just
I
a
think, but
soybean.
you're spot on right there. When it comes down to allergies and tolerances and sensitivities, I think that's where when we want to eat food, we want to be able to enjoy it and not have to deal with any sort of difficult circumstances
Yeah.
afterwards. So
Yeah.
knowing that there are soy-free and gluten-free options out there. If you have celiac
Excellent.
disease, if you do have a soy intolerance, that is an option for you. Otherwise, there's no reason to avoid it. The tofu burgers, the edamame, anything that might have soy sauce in it, so on and so forth, you can enjoy. Corey, this burger, though, does, I think, have one of the highest sodium levels, and that's 460
Oof.
grams of sodium, something to take
Yeah.
into consideration
Yep.
when you are enjoying the smokehouse burger from Abbott's.
Yeah, it might taste great, but if sodium, if blood pressure, and these things are massively important to you, if you're a heart patient, this is not the burger that you're going to want to be consuming. There's just no need to have that much sodium in a burger, if I could say. Now, listen, guys, there's one that has about a third of that amount of sodium that we're going to be sharing
Yeah.
with you pretty soon here. So there are other options out there, but yeah, this is one again and again, guys. As we hear, oh, it's avocado oil, it's different, or oh, it's expeller pressed canola oil, like whatever. Okay, oil is oil, and I think that ultimately, as we heard in the great oil debate and anything else, it's your choice,
Yeah.
as we as we hear about these added oils to some of these products, we're not talking about cold pressed, fresh from the harvest, olive oil that was plucked from, Italy in the peak harvest and then, squeezed into beautiful, luscious green, polyphenol rich olive oil. We're talking about just olive oil that, or oil of any type that was added to the recipe. And that's really just a bunch of added extra calories and, might make it tasty and juicy, but if it's not what you want to put in your body, then it's something
Yeah.
to think about.
And we're really talking about volume and amount also, right? So if you are eating a whole food plant-based diet without oil beyond that, if you are not using oil glug, glug, glug when you are cooking, and this happens to be an opportunity to have a burger, that's a big difference as opposed to if you are consuming oil with all of the rest of your meals from processed foods.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we've talked already, folks, about the Beyond Burger. We have covered Dr. Prager's and Abbott's. These are the brands that we've covered. And I'm curious which one you're going to go with next, because we did talk a lot about soy, and it could be the Hodo, or do we want to talk about actual veggies, or what are we thinking?
Hey, we're going to get to both of them, so we might as well go straight to saying, hey, tofu is a part of a plant-based diet, of a whole food plant-based diet, and there are tofu burgers out there that you can enjoy. Corey, the Hodo tofu veggie burger, it's fun to say.
Yeah,
Maybe that would encourage someone to get it.
Yeah, it's nice. And they have a lot of different products. The burgers are just one of them. And I've used them from time to time. Keep in mind, they do have the soybean oil in there. But as far as the sodium level, you're looking at about 400 calories as opposed to the one that we just did, which is 460. So you're going to find a trend here that a lot of these are relatively high in sodium, other than the one that we're going to get to very quickly. But talk to me about the protein. How are we feeling about the protein to fiber ratio, stuff like that?
We're focusing on tofu right over here. So we're going to have that high protein level. It's 19 grams of protein. It actually has the highest level of fiber, of dietary fiber, out of all the burgers that we're going to talk about. It's 9 grams of dietary fiber, because we're talking tofu, veggies, and also spices, herbs that are in there. 25% of the daily value for calcium, 15% of that daily value for iron. These are things that we're not regularly looking at, but just something helpful to know based on the ingredients that are there. And I think that the Hodo burger is one that can also be found pretty readily, Whole Foods, Safeway, Misfits markets, and for online purchases too. But you'll find it at a lot of retailers.
Right on. Guys, I think that if you're looking for a tofu burger, I'd almost rather you make your own seasoning and just take a block of tofu and cut it in half and just like let that thing marinate. For me, it's I want to say 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar and then 6 tablespoons of coconut aminos. And I'll just let that marinate, and like the tofu will soak up all of those delicious juices. And then I can just put it in the air fryer, and it's wonderful as like a patty of some sort. And it's pure protein. It's just absolutely wonderful. And of course, the fiber and everything else. So something to think about as well.
Now we're going from tofu to a whole bunch of different veggies, right?
Yeah.
And I would say uniquely for the veggie lovers out there, the actual veggies burger is quite unique. It does have avocado oil, but we're talking all kinds of veggies, Corey. If you want a sweet potato burger, there's one that has sweet potatoes and beets. If you want a broccoli burger, there's one that has broccoli and kale. They use parsnips and cauliflower and quinoa and spinach and mushroom. There's a whole truffle mushrooms burger that's out there. The thing with the actual veggie burger is there are multiple kinds. Many of them are completely plant-based, no animal products, but there are 2 of them that include cheese. So if you are taking a look going, which of these actual veggies burgers do I want to enjoy? Keep an eye out for the ones that have cheese. Otherwise, you have your colorful choice of veggies to choose from.
Wow, that's incredible. I've never tried this brand. I don't know much about it. The others I've had an opportunity to sample or taste at some point. But it has an interesting package, right? It just looks like it's got a bunch of veggies in it, and it looks like a normal burger. But have you tried it before? Have you actually seen it? No?
I have not tried it before. I'm trying to think if I've seen it before. I think that when we are going window shopping in the grocery store, it's really about what our eye catches, especially if we do not have a specific brand in mind. So keep an eye out for those colorful boxes. And I think this is a unique one, especially if someone says, hey, I would love for my burger to include these veggies that are not normally used. It's something, of course, you can have fun in the kitchen trying to make if you want, but you do have a prepackaged burger right here that's like that: 18 grams of protein, 6
Yeah.
grams of dietary fiber, and only 4 grams of fat. So it's right in that middle area for a lot of these.
Interesting. As we look at our final two here, I would say they're our top two, and the reason why is they're very near and dear to our heart in that they are both oil free. So we've got the Plant Strong burger and we've got the No Bull burger. Both of these burgers are going to be oil free, and I'll let you break down some of the macros there, Stephen, as I'm just kind of looking at them in the article that lives over at
Yeah.
forksoverknives.com.
We'll do the Plantstrong one because this one also takes a unique approach. It's a portobello mushroom skillet burger. So if you do love portobello mushrooms, which is considered the meatiest of
Mm,
all of the mushrooms, right? This is a good one to do. This one's a little bit different from the prepackaged burgers in that it is a just add water mix. You're going to have all the ingredients there. You're going to just add water, and that is going to form the patty, and then you are going to cook it up. We're talking oats, seeds, quinoa, veggies, herbs, and spices. And just like you mentioned, Corey, as far as taking a look at the numbers, it's the lowest in calories, 170 calories, which is a great thing. You don't see that often
no,
on a boxed product.
yeah,
Lowest in
and
sodium, only
yeah, sodium. Oh my.
190 milligrams, right?
Say
So
that
that's a
again,
great
buddy. I
thing.
talked over you. How many grams? Milligrams?
190 milligrams to compare it with the others.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's almost a third of
Yeah.
some of our other options. So something to think about. And guys, I mean, if you obviously we love Plant Strong and we love Rip. So if you are not someone who enjoys cooking in the kitchen and just adding water is going to make it easiest for you, go for it. That's it. You can't get any better than that.
Yeah, you'll find it at Target, you'll find it at Whole Foods, you'll probably find it at some other retailers too, and
Yeah.
you can trust the Plant Strong brand, oil-free all the way.
Now, my favorite package is this No Bull burger. It's got just veggies coming out the top of it. It's half burger patty, half veggies, and it really just catches your eye as you're running through the grocery store. Why do we like it so much, Steven?
I love the title, honestly. I think that there's something about it. It really is great marketing, great branding, and it is No Bull, the true veggie burger.
Yeah.
It's another one of the oil-free options out there. We're talking organic lentils, organic brown rice, organic quinoa, organic veggies, and chickpea flour. So these are the types of ingredients that you're also going to find on the Forks Over Knives website when you are making a recipe. So to be able to take that and go, ooh, I don't have time to cook. What can I purchase? The No Bull burger is going to be a great option. It's the lowest in fat out of all the burgers. 2 grams of fat, 0 grams of saturated fat. Again, not something you see often on packaged boxes because they're using oil and other ingredients that will boost up that saturated fat number.
Yeah, and I think you already said it, but 10 grams of protein on that one. So, but that oil free is a big
Yeah.
deal, and I think that again with Plant Strong, you're adding some water. With No Bull, you're just slapping them into the. I do the toaster oven, so you could just put them on broil in the toaster oven for just a few minutes or something of that nature. Toast yourself a nice
Mm.
plant based bun of some sort.
Hmm.
Even make your own bread if you want to, and just make it work. Or sometimes if you're in a bind, I just will cut up a patty and put it on top of some brown rice that I just steam in the from the frozen bag.
Oh, yeah.
So
The
um,
burger salad, Corey, I mean, hey, a bed of greens with a whole bunch of other fun veggies on it. Slap a burger on there too, just to add some extra oomph to it. This one's gluten free, 7 grams of fiber. It'll match and mix perfectly with all of the other ingredients, whether you're getting it online at the nobullburger.com website or Whole Foods, natural food stores. You'll also find this burger in a lot of restaurants. The Beyond
no
Burger, the
way.
first one we talked about, you're going to find in a lot of restaurants. The No Bull Burger is actually in a decent amount of restaurants too. So that's a great going out to eat option.
I did not know that. I know a lot of people carry Beyond, but I've never seen the No Bull burger. That's incredible.
It's going to be a lot more sporadic than Beyond, which is
Okay.
mainstream and national and or international. But
Sure.
keep an eye out around you. You might find a No Bull Burger at one of your favorite eateries.
Interesting. All right, folks. Well, we hope that this helped you. We kind of just want to give you a different way to consume information. Some people will like to watch us while they're on the treadmill, or maybe they're in their car and they want to hear it, kind of like a podcast or something. But ultimately, we want to give you as much information as possible, let you know that this is totally doable, and we've got a couple options for you. So, Stephen, why don't you take us out, friend, and then we'll say until next time. We'll say goodbye.
Listen, we all love burgers in some way or another. You can enjoy them however you want, on the stovetop, on the grill. We can leave the animals out and have an amazing summer of burgers. I hope you find your favorite kind and enjoy it over and over and over again.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Bye.